What's up, everybody? So I wanted to do a updated review on RipX Deep Audio. So they came out with a brand new update, so I figured it'd be fair to kind of give my honest opinion on it. So I, as an audio engineer and sound designer, I'm always looking for the new tools and fun tools to kind of help with editing audio. And I briefly covered this last time where I was talking about how it's similar to iZotope RX. And honestly, it's kind of a hybrid between that and Melodyne, and that's not a knock on any of those programs or this one. It's just what my observations are of this program. So there are a lot of things I like about it, and there are some things I think that can be improved or needed to be added, hopefully in future releases. So in this example, I'm going to be using a song by Stompboxxmusic called Day and Night, and I first off want to say, all credit is given to the artists and creators of the music itself, and to this application. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm just doing this because I want to. So I wish they had a history button like how iZotope has, where you can kind of go back in time and listen to the original. They do not, so I'm just gonna have to play this separately. So here's a brief clip of the Day and Night song by Stompboxxmusic.
Her voice is softer than silent night. Her eyes are brighter than the sky.
So I'll just have to kind of go between the original and this so you can kind of hear the difference. So the main tools I used for this one are, main window I should say, I focused on was just this one you see in front of you here. So I split everything up by running it through its RIP program or algorithm, and it took around 20 minutes or so to rip at a high quality for my computer itself. This is kind of an older machine, so yours might be a little faster or slower depending on how yours runs. So right off top, it did an amazing job at separating all the voice and the instruments, so I want to give credit to that. There are a few things I wish it had though in the tools menu up top. Similar to Melodyne, how you can select a single note. And I wish there was an option to adjust the gain directly from here. You can go into the levels option here and kind of do that, where you're kind of selecting, making it quieter or louder. But it doesn't seem that, like, it's, for me, it just, I like seeing everything in one space, and having to go to this little bar up here is kind of inconvenient for me personally. But I played around with that, and the main thing I used for this example also was their harmony option. So this is a really cool one. So it changes it by thirds. So you can easily create harmonies literally by clicking one button, dragging the slider up or down. So it can go an octave up, an octave down. So it's really cool. It sounds pretty, I'd say pretty organic to me. It sounds really similar to Melodyne. The one drawback though is you can't edit that harmony independently. So it's tied to this, like how it is. So I can't adjust the volume on the harmony. I can't add a different vibrato on that harmony itself, which is kind of a downer for me because that would have been great. So I'll kind of play what I have done to this so you don't forget. So remember, this was the original. Oops, back to the beginning.
Her voice is softer than silent night.
And then this was the edited version. Oops, I have everything muted. Sorry about that. So this is the edited version.
Her voice is softer than silent night. Her eyes are brighter than the sky.
So I'll just kind of toggle back and forth.
Her eyes are brighter than the sky. But she says that I'm not quite her type. Her voice is softer than night. Her eyes are brighter than the sky. But she says that I'm not quite her type.
So I don't know if you noticed what I kind of did on this thing. So just to kind of briefly overdo it and go back over it. Because I was able to separate the different instruments, so you have your drum pattern here. So I'll kind of solo these. Save your snare. Give your kick drum. And this percussion option, honestly, it just sounds like more of the timbre and stuff that are attached to the drums. But because it separated those independently, I can almost edit the audio like it's MIDI. So I copied the kick drum. Let's see here. It's kind of another thing I kind of noticed. I have a hell of a time trying to select stuff sometimes. So yeah, I was able to copy the kick and change the drum pattern. So you'll see it goes into like thirds. So back to the beginning here. So just listen to just the drums. So then the original, just focus on the drums. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And I was able to change that into like a different pattern of drums there. Boom, boom, clap, boom, boom, clap, boom, 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 clap. So that was kind of cool that I'm able to kind of literally within the song itself manipulate the audio. It's very, very cool. Again, you can do something similar in Melodyne, but the algorithm they use to separate theirs sounds a little different than this. And then the harmonies were really, really easy to kind of create. So, like I mentioned before, you can click one button to create a harmony. So if I click this, made it a third, I can go up an octave. Again, this way I like going an octave down, so it's pretty realistic. So another way that you can create a harmony is literally by copying the audio. So that's what I did for this example here. So I use this little selector tool here, the move tool. You can also resize it. They say, you know, dragging from the end of the note can make it smaller. If I wanted, I can shrink this down. And it just says it really quickly. But yeah, what I used with this was I clicked it, I hit Command C to copy, I clicked out of it, hit Command V to paste. So now I made a copy right on top of the original. So I dragged it up. So I'm just gonna go a little higher so you can see. So I'm gonna delete that for now. But yeah, that's what I did to make this harmony. So because I did that, it's on its own separate thing. So I can adjust the volume, I can pan it. I used a separate tool they had on here under the apply pattern tool. So this, I wish it was a little clearer too. You know, if you're not into audio and you don't know what all this means, this might be a little confusing. But essentially, the more you move the slider to the right, let me just, I'll bring that piece of audio back so it's a little clearer. So I wish I could solo this too. Let's see, an option here. There you go. So with this, where'd it go? What do they call this? The pattern tool. So if you adjust this period slider, you'll see the waves, the waveform kind of change. It's more of a legato note. It takes a longer time for the note to go up and down. I'll undo that. You just saw that in real time. I didn't do anything. I hit Command Z to undo it, and for some reason it closed out on me. Okay, so let's go. Seeing this in real time, folks. All right. So what's? Oh boy, folks. All right. So I don't know what just happened. I was trying to do a review on this thing and give it its props, and it just like lost all the data I did. So we're starting from scratch apparently. So that is crazy frustrating. All right, I'm trying to wrap my head around what just happened right now, and wow. All right, select. Yes. So under this effects little tab here, this little first box, you can choose harmony. If you select a note first, go use the word night. So to create a harmony is really easy. You just select harmony, and it can do it in thirds. So you can go up a third, an octave, 2 octaves. You can go down, down an octave, down 2 octaves. Sounds okay. So let me. I'm gonna bring that back up a little bit, more realistic. As I was trying to say in my first part of this video, it kind of sucks that you can't adjust the harmony that's created. You can adjust the audio, the original, by using this little tool here, the pattern tool. So these sliders allow you to adjust basically the legato or staccato version of this note. So if I have this period slider slid to the right, I'll just do that extremely all the way. So it makes a longer note if I move it to the left. You see the pattern's a lot shorter, it's a lot faster. It's a staccato note. This is where it kind of gets confusing. When it comes to semitones, we're talking about the pitch. So if I go all the way to the left, if I go all the way to the right. So essentially this is your key. I wish they kind of renamed this stuff. So if you're not musically inclined and this is the first time you're opening this, this is basically the key that the voices, or for this example, the voices. The period is basically how fast the note is either going, like staccato or legato. And the brush, if I go all the way to the right here. So let me try to undo these things without it crashing on me again. I'm so upset. I've tried not to like lose it, but man, I did a lot of work to edit this song. And it's gone. Anyway, brush. So here we go. And this says it doesn't really tell you what this does, huh? Okay. What is the brush doing? I'm not sure what this is doing. Silent night. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that on the main voice. So this is where I would create a copy. So I'm gonna get rid of that harmony. There's no way to actually like clear it. It doesn't look like, other than selecting like its default again. Is there an option to right click? Okay, I wish there was like an option to control click or right click or something and clear that out, but instead you just have to kind of click back to where it originally was. So I'm gonna copy, click out of it, paste. I'm gonna move this up. Move that up. So now I'm gonna add that little warble. So it sounds a little crazy like that, but together it sounds a little better. So it is a little too loud, and here's where I wish they had that gain option I was telling you about. They kind of do under volume. I wish there was a like a tool here instead of having to click over here, like how Melodyne has. But you click on volume, and this, even to this little window looks a little wonky to me. Like, I get what it's supposed to do, and it works. It's just not super user intuitive. So yeah, I'd rather have like a percentage, like a gain knob instead of these little sliders. This looks like a parametric, like EQ or something, like a graphic EQ. I gotta like play around with these. I don't know. I guess I mean, it works. I kind of wish it wasn't this design, but yeah, if you want to get rid of them, kind of right click. Nope. I think you have to drag it down. Nope. How do you clear this out? Okay, dragging it kind of off its little screen there. Okay, well, yeah, I don't need it to kind of gradually go down and up. Oh boy, here we go. See, you guys, I was trying to do like a really cool review. But essentially, think of this like in Pro Tools. This would be like your audio suite plugin or effect. So I want to lower the gain down, so I can basically have to lower these below this line. This is like your default the audio level that's playing at. So, but below would be quieter, above would be louder. So I can't tell how much it's lowering or lifting it, which I wish there was a percentage thing somewhere. So I knew, I'm lowering it by 5 dB, by 3 dB, or something. But there's lines, so I kind of have to play it by ear. So when you're happy with your adjustment, which I can't preview, which is another silly thing. I wish there was like a. So if I can of preview if I do this, let's see. Nope, that. So I can move this out the way. So it's not previewing the effect. Okay, so our preview button does not preview the change until I apply it, apparently. So I'm going to lower it by however much this is, because again, there's no percentage. So I'm going to say apply. You'll see the waveform kind of changed on the tail end of this. It lowered down the volume. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this a lot more so we can actually see it a little easier. So as I lower this, the waveform gets a little duller in color. It's not as bright. It's indicating it's getting quieter. So it's a little too quiet for me. So I'm going to Command Z, undo that. So I'm going to lower it by whatever this is. Again, I wish there was a percentage thing or some kind of numbers, so I knew how much I'm dropping it down by. And another thing I wish they had was an option to save a preset. So if I knew I had to drop, my vocals by a certain percentage throughout the whole song, it'd be convenient to kind of have a preset here. But they don't have an option to save one. It says custom, but how do I don't, okay. Can I make another one? How do I make another one? I can't make another custom preset. Okay, so I wish there was an option to save custom presets. Since you give me the option to add all these, points and make my custom little lines, it'd be nice to save that as a preset, right? That's one thing. Just a suggestion. You take it or leave it. But anyway, so let me click out of here. So yeah, there's not even an option to go back to my defaults. Like, why is there no default thing here? All right, closing that out.
Brighter than the sky. She said.
So if I wanted to, I can go out, throughout this whole song. Or if I wanted to just select all the voice and apply that, I guess I can hit the little voice button there, selects all my voices, and apply this, it seems like. Is that an option? Can I do that? Oh, it looks like I can. It's trying. It's chugging along. Okay. So let's rewind.
Her voice is softer than silent nights. Her eyes are brighter than the sky. But she says that I'm not quite her type. I know it's a natural to want something so much.
So next thing is the sibilance. So, there we go. That's the harsh S I'm hearing. So it's supposed to have some repair tools here. The clean repair. So you have tone, hum, limit, foreground, overtone levels. I'm just okay. Is there an option to de-ess? Quantize. I'm looking. I see slide pitch. Format, reverb, delay, reverse. I'm looking for a de-esser. Do they have one? I guess a high pass would be the closest thing they have here. It'd actually be a low pass. Filter another high pass. Okay. I'm looking. I don't see that option. Yeah, this isn't real time, folks. I wasn't trying to like do any trickery editing. I guess I could just delete that. Let's see here how that sounds. Ooh, that sounds crazy. So I want to get rid of that harsh S. Do they have a limiter? So speaking to one of the reps, they wanted me to do a honest review with this updated stuff. Clean. Let's see, effects. Sound. I don't want to reverse anything. I don't need to match it to anything. All I want is a de-esser. Where is it? Harmonic editor, I guess. And even this is kind of confusing. Okay, all right. So okay. So this is a little. How do I paint sound? I don't want to erase the sound. I just want to lower it down. Adjust level tool. So let's say by, I don't know, 15 decibels. All this. I just want to lower that down. That didn't do anything. Did I miss something? That's an apply button. Okay. I honestly don't hear much of that note removed.
Natural to want something.
Okay. So, if I had to suggest, I would have a native de-esser in here. I'm looking. I was trying to give the benefit of the doubt, like maybe I'm just not seeing it immediately. I wish there was a designated native de-esser though, because this is a little tricky. Man, all right, I'll have to break this into the part 2 because this is getting a little long, and I had intended to show you what I had edited, but as you saw, this whole session just crashed and I lost my edits. All right, so stay tuned for part 2.